All right, so I've literally spent all day in the urgent care and emergency room and getting things checked out, and it really is just a gut check, for yourself when you get a little bit of a health scare. Got to make some changes. The mission statement for this channel has always been to create positive and motivating films to encourage others to ride and enjoy the motorcycle culture.
Sleep with the lights on, I'm coming heavy with the fights on, I'm hunting, till you're gone.
And it's hard to believe, after having one of my biggest successes, that I would have to hit the pause button. But the truth is, if I didn't take a break, there's a chance that it would ruin the world that I love. Finding a way to make this video has been pretty challenging. I've recorded it several times in several different ways, some comical, others serious, and honestly, I'm here right now saying I'm just going to give it to you straight. And I think I do owe it to everybody who's been asking about the documentary, when it's going to be released, did they miss it, and all the different comments that they've left. I think hopefully I'll be able to answer that for you. This is going to be a little bit different of a video. I'm going to ask for you to bear with me as I kind of open up and kind of tell you guys some of the faults that I've been having and recognizing those faults and things that I needed to change. And if I'm being upfront, I will tell you that I've been worried about putting something like this out there because I don't know how this is going to affect, my channel, people following along, and ultimately what impacts it will have in the long run. But I'm gonna do it anyway. So before we get carried away, just know that this is not a woe is me video or an I quit video. I don't like those, don't believe in those. This is just me being upfront and honest with everything that's been happening in my life and some things that I needed to correct. And to be honest, I'm thinking that whether you're in content creation or not, you'll probably be able to relate with some of these things, and maybe I can help somebody out along the way that's been going through similar struggles. And by the end, I hope to be able to give you just an update on where the channel is going to be progressing from here and what to expect in the future. So let's get started. Why did I take a break? So, funny story, it was kind of by accident. I was in the middle of editing the newest documentary, Miles of Summer, when I had a corrupt hard drive that cost me 2 terabytes of footage. For those that don't do video creation or anything like that, 2 terabytes is a ton of video footage, and I had lost all of it. And at the time, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get any of that back, and that really led me down this angry, depressed, part of my life. And I didn't want to do any other type of edits because I wanted to get that documentary done. And 3 days turned into 5 days, 5 days turned into a week, and then 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks. And then something strange happened. My mindset kind of flipped, and I ended up enjoying that break a little bit more than I thought I would a few weeks prior. And it was important because I had a chance to discover some things that were going on with me in my life and some things that needed to be addressed. Road life versus real life. So when you're traveling out on the road like I was and getting all this footage for a long, full-length documentary, you're kind of in this vacation mode mindset. And when you're in that vacation mode, things start to take a back seat as far as responsibility and drive and focus because you're kind of just out in the moment and trying to experience it all. Well, over time, when you do that more and more, things start to blend together. And I was having that vacation mode more back at home, and that mindset was causing me productivity in my professional life, my home life, and everything in between. Now, in order for me to make some changes, I had to identify a few things, which is one, I was never going to be doing this full time. I never wanted to be a full-time YouTuber. I've got friends that do it. I tip my hat to everybody that does it. It is not an easy gig, and they are the hardest working people, bar none. It is day in and day out. They are working constantly to get videos out for on a certain schedule, and responding and just being that social media content creator that we all enjoy watching on the daily. Now, making videos and films is something that I love dearly. It's always been something that has been kind of like my stress relief for creating films for this channel. That's kind of my escape, and I was losing that, and I was losing it in a big way, because in reality, this was turning into an obsession. It wasn't burnout, but I was finding myself more and more diving into the analytics, and it was getting unhealthy. I was checking analytics daily, and I was playing mind games on why it wasn't doing well one day and not the other, and how come this was being viewed, and the watch time and the money being made, and all that stuff was a constant drive on my mental health. That included when I was going to bed, when I was waking up. It was all I was thinking about. And with that anxiety, as you can imagine, I started analyzing my self-worth on, am I actually providing a value to people on YouTube to come and watch the videos and films that I was creating? And it was a rabbit hole that ran deep. So the impact it was having on my family is that these films take so much time and effort. Put aside spending all that time out on the road. But once I was back at home, I would be locked in this studio for hours upon hours upon hours. I would eat meals in here. I would take small breaks in between, and then I'd lock myself and isolate myself inside of this studio. And that started to create a resentment for this space that I created for me to be stress-free. It brought a whole bunch of stress to it. It's hard to explain, but those were the things that were going through my mind. And to be honest, you get distracted from real life and your real relationships that you got going on. I needed to do better. So then that leads to what it was doing to my physical health. And I will tell you, this is not a bash on people who drink alcohol or have your occasional drink. That's not what this is. But I was drinking alcohol way too much, and it was a vicious circle because there was always something going on. There was a bike night or a different motorcycle event or a Tuesday night editing. I started pulling in my unhealthy eating habits from the road, and I was coming back home, and instead of having some type of good home-cooked meal, I found myself going to fast food a lot. Just anything easy to get me back into the editing room, which is not going to be healthy as it is, right? You're going to have fried food and just unhealthy options when you do that, and that's exactly what was happening to me. Oh man, now let's talk about fitness. So I've been neglecting fitness since 2020. And I took a huge step back in something that in my younger years, I used to love going to the gym and working out. And then as I got older, here's my old way of doing things. And you don't need to leave a comment about this part. I get it. It was not healthy. But every year I would go on a crazy diet, and it wasn't hitting the gym or a healthy weight loss, but I would lose anywhere between 30 and 40 pounds. And right before the summer months came around, and then I would spend the rest of the year putting that weight back on. That can't be healthy, to just drop 35, 40 pounds and then every year tack that back on. It's just going to be too taxing on my body. So that needed to change, and I needed to do a deep dive, focus, and a reboot or a reset on myself. So getting into financially, look, there's no way for me to sugarcoat this. These trips that I were taking are not cheap. It costs a lot of money, no matter who you are, to go on these trips, whether it be with the hotel stays or your gas or at the events. It's just going to take a lot of money. And I started to realize that the money that I was expending is more than this channel was bringing in. And for a long time, this channel was bringing in, just the fun money, the idea of all my travel expenses were taken care of for the year, or so I thought. Because then it started to be a little bit more, and next thing I know, I'm now in the red on what this channel was bringing in financially and what I was expending to go on these trips. And it was catching up to me really fast. So that leads me to where I'm at right now. Well, to be honest with you, I've been putting the things that are real life, here and now, first, things that are important to me, and that includes the relationships with my family and being a better husband and a better father and just personal growth for myself. I've put fitness at the top of my list of things where, to be honest with you, since September, I have worked out every single day. Actually, I've missed 3 days, and that includes Christmas and New Year's, and then one random day in between where I just decided to take a day off. But other than that, I've been constantly in the gym. It's been great. I feel fantastic, better than I have felt in a long, long time. I've all but cut out alcohol, at least for now. So right now, it's been nice. I've been mentally clear and more motivated than ever, probably in a long, long time. But I have been riding. I've been riding motorcycles, but I've been doing the riding for me and just kind of re-finding that joy of riding without a camera in my hand whatsoever. I don't even bring a camera out with me. And I've just been finding a way to just really enjoy motorcycle riding again while I am figuring things out up here. So they say in any type of art, if you take a step back for whatever reason, you'll know when it's time to return, because you'll just have this burning fire to get back in and get that work done. And I can feel that fire brewing, and I'll be excited to see what happens on the flip side. I'm going to be continuing to make films and videos, more specifically probably the film aspect and the documentaries. That's going to be my primary focus. And if I can sprinkle in some videos in between, that'll be great. But for everybody that's been wondering, did you miss the release of the doc, or where can they see it? It hasn't been released yet, so you haven't missed anything. I am still working on it, and it has an unknown release date right now. But I just hope that when it is done, that you guys will enjoy it, because creating these films and trying to one-up the last one takes a lot of mental stress, and there's a lot of pressure to perform. So sometimes I re-edit those films 3, 4, 5 times till I know that it's something that is worthy of putting out. So it's coming. Stand by. My traveling is probably going to take a little bit of a step back as I continue to focus, because I don't think that I should take on another project or another big cross-country trip until I get this film underway. So if anything, it's going to be more motivation for me to get this film out there so that I can get back on the road. But until it gets, done and completed and released, I'm going to take a big step back from traveling on the motorcycle. And finally, giving the people in my life the best version of myself. And when I say the people in my life, that includes you. You guys deserve the best version of me. I hope to even take it to a whole nother level, and it's something that I hope you guys will enjoy. And if you made it this far in the video, you guys are just good, sheer friends, and I just thank you guys for the ongoing support, checking in on me. I wanted to let you guys know what's been going on so I can answer a lot of these questions. I'm getting motivated, and even creating this right now, I can tell you I can feel something brewing. But until that time, you guys ride safe, you be safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.